Good evening everyone, and welcome to this first full council of this administration. I'd like to congratulate you all on councillors who got re-elected and our new councillors, and I hope, like the previous administration, that we can all work as one team, which worked very well in the previous administration. So just a few housekeeping rules. Welcome to all members of the public and councillors. Firstly, a brief health and safety introduction. We are not expecting a fire drill, but if the alarm does sound, please make your way to the nearest fire exit. The emergency exit at the back of the chambers will take you across the roof and down the fire escape. Take care, as this may be slippery if wet. Or you can exit the way you enter the building through the police station and out of the front or back door. If it's not possible to get to an exit, the lift lobby is a safety zone in the event of a fire. Under no circumstances should the lift be used. Please make sure that all mobile phones and devices are switched off or on silent. Any individual wishing to video or audio record the meeting may do so. I must inform you that this meeting is being videoed by the council and will be uploaded to the council's YouTube channel. Please remember, anyone wishing to speak in the public participation part of the meeting should raise their hand or wait until his chair to gesture for you to speak. You will be given a maximum of 4 minutes to make your representation, which should be aimed at me as chair. Please state the agenda item which you will be speaking about. Through me as chair, council members or officers may then respond to your point if necessary. You will not automatically be able to reply unless I, as chair, allow you to do so. The full public participation policy and other helpful policies are available. To all present, please remember to show respect to others in the meeting and avoid interrupting where possible to enable others to follow the meeting. Anyone present felt to be behaving unacceptably will be excluded from the meeting by the chair. Any members of the public looking to leave the meeting should wait for a council officer to escort them out of the building. Thank you. There's just one other thing before we start. It has been suggested to me that at approximately 8:50 that we have a break. If all members are happy, that we do it at that particular time. Yes? Thank you. And before we start the meeting, I think if we can just have a moment of silence to reflect on what's going to happen tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Right, we go on to agenda item 1, the election of mayor for the municipal year of 2019 to 2020. Councillor Borden.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd just like to say a vote of thanks to you for all the hard work that you've done over the last couple of years, and I understand why that you've decided to step down and have a rest for a year or so, so I don't blame you. So therefore I'd like to recommend that we support Councillor Mark Brown this evening. Basically, he has the previous experience of being there, which I think is quite important for this first term of office, and also particularly the hard work that he's done on F&GP. From the finances when I started here 4 years ago, and we're in a bit of a mess, and Mark's worked very, very hard on getting our books to balance and that, and I think he duly deserves the election to that man, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to second Councillor Boardman's proposal that Mark Brown is elected Mayor. I think it's very important, you mentioned it briefly, Madam Mayor, continuity between the previous council and the new council is absolutely vital, and Mark is one of the most experienced councillors that we have on this council, and I think he's the ideal candidate. Thank you.
Councillor Hunman.
Madam Mayor, I would like to propose Nazisha Dill, who is a new councillor but has masses and masses of experience from her previous law background. So I'd like to propose, she knows lots of people in the town, works really well in the area, so I'd like to propose Nazisha Dill.
Yeah, I'd like to second Councillor Hunman's proposal for Levine to be Mayor, to be put forward. Thank you.
Any more nominations? Okay.
Just ask for recorded vote, please,
Okay, so the first item that's put forward is Councillor Brown as Mayor. So I'll just ask each individual councillor, I'll read out your
I'm
name.
really sorry, but it didn't print properly with the right names on it. I'm not sure how.
Okay,
Let me go and just do that really quickly.
I won't be asking just yet.
So,
It is the wrong one, yeah. Right, I'll do it from the councillor's contact details sheet. So it won't be in alphabetical order, it'll be in forward order, etc. So I'll be asking if you're in favour of the nomination of Councillor Brown as Mayor. It's either yes or no, or abstain. You've got three choices. Could you tell me? So that'll be the second vote. There's the second vote. Thank you. We will be alphabetical order. Right. Okay, so it's as I said, it's yes or no, or for, against, or abstain in support of Councillor Brown as Mayor for the coming year. Councillor Nazisha Dill. Sorry?
no,
Councillor Liz Borman.
abstain.
Councillor Phil Borman.
For.
Councillor Mark Brown.
For.
Councillor Jean Cash.
No,
Councillor Sylvia Dunn.
No.
Councillor John Edson.
No.
Councillor Morag Everton.
no,
Councillor Polly Hader.
no,
Councillor Ranuma Hader.
no,
Councillor Richard Honeyman.
No.
Councillor Olivia Honeyman.
no,
Councillor Alan Nathan.
Yes.
Councillor Jim Lord.
No.
Councillor James Meek.
No.
Councillor Richard Morland.
No.
Councillor Rodney Reed.
Yes.
Councillor Jeff Rutland.
Yes.
Councillor Linda Walraven.
yes,
Councillor Bill Webb.
Yes.
Okay, so that's that motion's not carried. That's 7 in favour, 12 against, and 1 abstention. So we move to the second motion that was put forward, which was Councillor Nazish Adil, sorry, is Mayor. Is that being asked for as a recorded vote or not? Before I start.
Yeah.
You want a recorded vote? Thank you. Okay, so the same format. Those in favour of Councillor Nazish Adil is Mayor for the following year. Councillor Nazish Adil.
yes,
Yeah. Councillor Liz Borman.
abstain.
Councillor Phil Borman.
Against.
Councillor Mark Brown. Councillor Jean Cash.
For,
Councillor Sylvia Dunn.
For.
Councillor John Edson,
For.
Councillor Morag Everton,
For.
Councillor Ali Hader, Councillor Anuma Hader,
For.
Councillor Richard Honeyman,
For.
Councillor Olivia Honeyman,
For.
Councillor Al Latham,
Against.
Councillor Lord,
For.
Councillor James Meek,
For.
Councillor Richard Morland,
For.
Councillor Rodney Reid,
Abstain.
Councillor Jeff Rutland,
Abstain.
Councillor Linda Wallerton,
Against.
and Councillor Bill Webb.
Against.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that motion's carried, 3 abstentions, 5 against and 12 in favour. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. She said so. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I, Councillor Nazir Sharil, having been elected to the office of the Mayor of Seaford, declare that I take the office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the Code of Conduct of Seaford Town Council in the performance of my functions in that office. Dated today. Thank you.
Right, so now we just so if you just yeah.
Hi everyone, hello again. Right, so we go to the third on the agenda list, which is the election of the deputy mayor for the municipal year 2019 and 20. So shall we receive the nominations, please? Yes, please.
Elect to propose Deputy Mayor as a councillor Jim Lott.
Any more nominations? Yes.
Congratulations, Madam Chairman. I'd like to put the name forward for Deputy Mayor's office. Thank you.
Do we have any second? Yes.
I'll second Councillor Borden.
Any more nominations, please? Right, so we go about taking this for the Jim Lord first. So we take out the name from the list as we did before. We will do that?
It's only if it's a recorded vote. We have
Yes.
that one requested, yes.
Okay.
Does anyone request a recorded vote? Or are we just doing a vote? Just a
Do the
vote,
vote.
okay, alright. So in that case, it's those in favour of Councillor Lord, just
All right.
and then those against, abstention.
Right, so we do follow the name.
No,
We
you
don't.
just ask them to raise their hands,
Right.
raise their hands, yeah.
Right.
So, sorry, just to explain as it's a new council.
Please.
So this, you'll just be asked by the chairman to be, the first vote is Councillor Lord, as he was proposed first, and it's a show of hands, so all those in favour. You will be asked, but not me yet, but yes. And somebody else.
Just for consistency, can I have a recorded vote for both?
Oh, wait, we'll
Oh,
just,
okay.
yeah, just say the way.
So this makes it a bit more for the whole
Yeah.
four.
Yeah,
This makes
all right.
it,
Okay, all right, we'll do that then. So this is for Councillor Lord. So those in favour of Councillor Lord as Deputy Mayor for the coming year, starting with Councillor Adil,
Yes.
Councillor Liz Borman,
Yes.
Councillor Phil Borman,
No.
Councillor Mark Brown,
Against.
Councillor Jane Cash,
4.
Councillor Sylvia Dunn,
4.
Councillor Edson,
abstain.
Councillor Everton,
4.
Councillor Ali Hader,
4.
Councillor Ranuma Hader,
4.
Councillor Richard Honeyman,
4.
Councillor Olivia Honeyman,
4.
Councillor Latham,
Against.
Councillor Lord,
4.
Councillor Meek,
Again.
Councillor Morland,
4.
Councillor Reid,
4.
Councillor Rutland, abstain, Councillor Walraven, and Councillor Webb. Okay. Okay, that motion's carried, 12 in favour, 6 against and 2 abstentions. So the second motion falls by default. You can't take, once that one's through, that's it. So you can't have any,
Yeah.
you declare that.
So I do declare Councillor Jim Lord as our Deputy Mayor for the term of 2019 and 20. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sure, so I'm clapping.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Madam Chairman, I must go because I've got another meeting to go to. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone.
Let's go.
Yes, come on.
Yes, without any ado, shall we just move on to the fourth one, which is the declaration of acceptance of office, all councillors?
Yeah, just to,
So I inhaled you saying basically.
Yes, certainly. It's number 4, declaration of acceptance of office. We are on the number 4 of the agenda.
We don't have it anywhere so I need to.
yeah, if, we've had this discussion before, you know, you can have an agenda if you get them from, buy them beforehand, or provide them on the night. We have got some blank copies here. We've got some blank copies, we'll sort that out for you. Sorry about that. I've received all the declarations of acceptance, we've got all 20, so we're not going to be in a position we were 4 years ago, where we have a casual vacancy immediately. There's no need to give anyone an extension to sign the declarations. They're all in place. I don't think we've received everyone's, I think we've received the majority of councillors' other forms they have to fill in. If there's any that you haven't done, it would be great if you could do them tonight. So we can get those all, because we need to upload them on the internet, and it actually goes one JPEG, so we can't do anyone's until we've got everyone's, if that makes sense. So if they're all done, that's great. Thank you.
We move to number 5, please. Apologies for absence.
There are no apologies, everyone's present, Chair.
Lovely. Number 6 is disclosure of interest.
This is really if anyone's got any interest in anything on the agenda, so we covered this briefly in training. We put your code of conduct policy there. But the main thing is if you have any prejudicial financial interest in anything on the agenda, that's a big issue. If you have, you need to declare that. Even if something does crop up during the meeting where you think actually this is of interest to me more than it is to the average person in Seaford. So for example, if give an example in planning, if we're doing the planning application that's over the road from your house, then you should be paying interest. We're not doing planning tonight, but that's just to give you an idea of the type of thing. You can declare the interest during the meeting if it emerges during the meeting that you've got an interest in something. So if you don't do it here, if something crops up later in the meeting, then by all means let us know then that you have got an interest.
Madam Mayor, just a point of order, it would be normal to read out the, what's written down on the piece of paper so that people understand what it is.
Yes, I will do that for you. So we are on the number 7 now, public participation. To deal with any question or brief representation from members of the public in accordance with Standing Order 3 and Super Town Council policy. Yes, please.
Hello, Penny Lard. Just a couple of things, please. I'd like to address this actual agenda item on public participation. It is a discussion that's we've had in the council before, in the last year we stopped actually recording the names of people in public participation, and I'd like to revisit that really, because I think it's quite wrong that people who come to a meeting that they know is going to be public, that it's recorded and minuted, don't have their names recorded. There's no need for it. If people want to make confidential representations of the councils, they've got other means of doing that. So I'd like some comments on that, please, and I hope that the council will take that one up. And also, I'd like to talk about agenda item 10, which is a representation on outside bodies. I have the list here of the outside bodies for the last year, and in theory there should have been 47 reports on councillors' activities with outside bodies. In actual fact, there were 16 submitted, and I really don't think that's good enough. Even if people had got together, there should have been there should have been 28 reports. And I'd just like to make sure that all councillors, whether they're new or old councillors, know what the obligations are when they do volunteer for outside bodies. It is in the council policy for that, and the reporting should be minutes of meetings, update reports to full council or committee meetings, email updates and annual reports, and that doesn't appear to be happening, so I'd like everyone to think about that. There's no point having outside body representation if there's not a two-way communication, and I don't think it's actually good enough just to do it at the end of the year either, because things come up during the year which are of importance to officers and to councillors. Thank you.
Yes, please. Yes, you're
sorry. Thanks very much for that, Penny. The data protection side of things with the recording of names, and I know we discussed this, it was a guidance from NALC that we don't put names in. Now, when new legislation comes out like the GDPR, you do sometimes find that people are overcautious, and we followed the advice. What I'll do is I will endeavour to follow that up with SALC and NALC to see what the current advice is. The reason they stopped recording them is that there was the potential, because people have a right to ask for their name to be removed in the future. The issue was what happens if someone's name's recorded in the minutes and they then exercise their right under GDPR to have the name removed in the future from our minutes. That could have potentially been a big banana skin, because technically to do that you have to go to judicial review, and that was the reason why the advice was so contrary to keeping them in. We as officers would rather actually they were recorded. You know, I think it is better for historical records, and I know that's something that's close to your heart. So I think what we'll do is we'll follow it up and see what the current advice is from now. Definitely agree to do that. It's not something the council can change tonight, it's written in the policy. We'd have to review the policy to change it as from whenever the policy is reviewed. But I'll come back to with a report on it to the next meeting. The point about reporting, I agree entirely with what you say. I think from our point of view, and you were very good at doing this and others were as well, is giving us interim reports as well that you send to all the councillors. You have that function where you can send to all councillors one email, so when you're on an outside body, if you've got the minutes to share or you've got an update or anything from the outside body you're on, you can send that to all the councillors and the officers, so we're all aware of what's going on. It's given us a heads up on quite a few things, which has been very useful. So I agree entirely with what you're saying from an officer point of view. Thank you.
I think also, James, the law states that if you want to be recorded, you have to state categorically, I want my name recorded on this particular item, in which case then you are not in breach of General Data Protection Rights, because he said that's what I want to do. Whereas James is quite correct, in 10 years' time, when it comes around, so I shouldn't have said that, it's too late. So it's a double-edged sword. Yes, you can, but make sure you do it. But in 10 years' time, it's still going to hold you. So it is a banana skin.
Yeah, we will follow it up and we'll come back with a comprehensive report back to members. Thanks for raising it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Lucy Freeman. First of all, congratulations to all the council on being elected. Congratulations on Madam Mayor and to the Deputy Mayor. I'd like to ask and to ensure that the new council are as assiduous in following up the scaffolding on Talent Parade and the provision of affordable housing in Newlands as we were. So I would urge all of you new councillors, please, we've got to get rid of that scaffolding. In fact, I've heard, I don't know how true it is, the guy who owns it is waiting for all the shopkeepers to move out. He wants to knock it down and build housing there. That's a rumour. I can't see how true it is. I'm just reporting it. Thank you.
Yes, please.
I can state for the record that we are continuing with both of those. We're in detailed officer meetings at the moment with regards to Newlands to improve the deal that was offered originally. We've made some significant inroads in those meetings. What will happen is that will be reported back to the planning committee in due course. The planning committee will then make a decision on the options that are available, because it is very much a case of taking from here to give to there. There's a balancing act to be achieved, and what we can get from the Newlands project for the town. But the decision will lie with the council, the planning committee of the council in due course. But we're coming back with as many options as we can, and we're also going to look at a system where we can say, well, if you change this, that's the impact over there, so you'll be able to weigh up the pros and cons as a council. As far as the Talent Parade goes, I actually took the director of Economic Development, Environment, etc. Round there last week from Lewis District Council to show him it personally. As a result, we are in the process of arranging to meet with the owner, who is based in London, to go and just sit across the table and see what it is he's trying to achieve. Because it's costing them a lot of money at the moment. They're paying there's business rates on there, which is significant. We're talking tens of thousands of pounds a year, and there's obviously the money for the scaffolding as well. As far as residential, that couldn't happen legally, because it's within the town centre zone, within the local plan. You can't convert commercial properties into residential in the town centre area. That's not allowed, full stop. So you wouldn't get plan permission for that. Certainly the upstairs was residential. That was the original. That's the approved application. The approved application is for 4 stories of residential with the ground floor of commercial.
Anyone else?
I should have said on the Talent Parade one again, when we've secured where we are with that, we will be reporting back to the council to make the council aware what's happening with that.
So we move on to number 8, please. It's the Young Mayor 2019 and 20. To facilitate the handover of the position of Young Mayor from Mr. Dominic Irby to James Jenkins, and receive any update reports from the former and successive Young Mayor. To welcome the new Deputy Young Mayor for the 19 and 20 municipal year further to the recent elections.
Unfortunately, they're not here, so
Yes.
we won't be doing that tonight.
I just can't see them.
Yeah.
Maybe a guest appearance or something. Right, so we
I
give
think
that one
they
today.
probably will say that's probably to do with exams, because it is that time of year. Yeah, they will be at the town forum, yes.
Right.
Sorry.
Because, yes, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I put forward a motion that we defer that until the annual council meeting, town forum, rather than do it at that stage.
We can formally do it there, but I think, yeah, if you're happy to record that that's happened in the minutes, then that gets the decision of what we can informally do the handover at the town forum, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you. I just wonder, shouldn't the new deputy mayor take his seat?
He's quite comfortable where he is, he says. Could you please? Insist.
Thank you very much indeed. We're doing quite correct. So, being such a shy person.
No, they can get easily.
What is this? What is this? Sit in the back seat, the back more. Smaller step, that's it, ready to sit down.
We move to number 9, committee memberships. To consider report Feb 2019, to appoint members to committees and appoint the chairman and vice chairman for the 2019 and 20 municipal year, and consider the appointment of any new committees, page 24. So we have the paper here.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So we've pre-printed, as you know, we've been asking for nominations for various positions. So the committees at the moment, the document that we put on your tables tonight, this coloured one. As you can see, we've got finance and general purposes. We one member short for that. Community services, we have too many, 3 over. Planning, we 3 short. Golf is nice and easy, that's done. Personnel is the same. We still short on grievance and appeals. The people on the grievance and appeals are the same people as who are on personnel.
Yes.
So they've got to be different. And equally, if you're on grievance, you can't be on appeals. Okay. Just because you deal with appeals from that committee, so you can't be on board. But of course, we have the chair positions as well. So whilst we're talking about this, if you think about if you would like to put yourself forward for any of those committees that have got vacancies, or equally if you would like to drop out of community services and go elsewhere, perhaps that would help with the numbers. But I think the first thing we need to do is deal with the chairman.
Yes.
And at the moment for finance, F&GP, we have just one nomination for chair. And I think if you want to just on a consensual basis rather than doing a vote every time.
Yeah.
So if you want to just ask the room if they support that proposal, and then we can get through a bit quicker.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So on the finance and general purposes, we've got Mark Brown as the chair. Is everybody okay and agree to that?
Yes.
Great.
We have one more members left to join. Would anybody like to volunteer for that, please? Would you like to get it?
Along with that, community services.
Oh, thanks, Liz. Thank you. Okay, and we need a vice chair as well.
And we need a vice chair, please. Would anybody like to put themselves forward?
Come on, it's an exciting thing.
Yes.
I'll do that.
Richard? Yes.
Richard, Alan or Richard? Richard.
So we've got Richard Moreland for the vice chair of finance and general purposes. And Liz Bowman has just added to the list. So we've got 10.
Yeah, so
All done.
if everyone's happy with that, just can we just get a general, is everyone happy with that?
Is everyone happy with this one?
Yes.
Right.
So now, see the community services we need.
Yes, please. So moving on to the next one is community services. We've got 10 seats and we've got 13. Liz has come down from there, so we've got 12. So would anyone like to come down from there?
Can I just ask,
Yes.
planning and highways is quite a commitment, isn't
It is, yes. Planning the highways is approximately once every 3 weeks. The meetings aren't long because the reason they're every 3 weeks is we have to respond within the time frame to Lewis District, otherwise our responses are out of time. So the meetings tend to be, well, Linda's better answering this than me, but I would say less than an hour as a rule of thumb.
As a rule, meetings are less than an hour, but it's all the homework you have to do leading up to the meeting, because you've got to study all the individual plans. So there's a lot of work beforehand.
And drive round as well. And drive round.
Yes, and yes, so sort of view any of the properties which you can see from the front. But yes, it is a lot of work, but it's rewarding. in.
I would, but I don't think I could. I would probably be defaulting on.
Best not to, to promise to do something that you feel. You may find that next year you find it different. It's up to you. I wouldn't want to force anyone to do something they can't commit to.
I'm going to be starting a new job shortly, and I don't know what my commitments are going to be. So I'm quite happy to drop out of the community services. But if I could be a sort of a floating councillor, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, well, one thing is that any councillor can come along to any committee meeting and has a right to speak at that meeting. Just if they're not a member of the meeting, they haven't got a right to vote. Unless they're there as a substitute. So they're being asked to go on behalf of somebody else, then you have a right to vote as well.
Obviously, once I've got into the new job and everybody else, then I'll know exactly what's going on. So I'm quite happy to drop out for now. And just
be a substitute. Necessarily.
All right, well,
We have another one who would like to drop off?
And there's a pause in charity.
Yes, how do we do about it now?
Well, you can go ahead with 11 if nobody else wants to drop out. It's just 13 was too heavy because you've got quite a lot of the council on there. I think 11 we've had in the past, so if you're happy to agree to have 11 on that committee, that's fine. And then you need to agree on chair and vice chair as well.
They're all right to go with the 11.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, so we have Sylvia Dunn as proposed chair for community services. Is everybody happy with that?
Very
We have
good.
chair Sylvia Dunn. And for the vice, please, could we have a proposed name? Anyone would like to vice chair?
No, I'd like to propose Councillor Walraven, because as ex-mayor, I think she would make an excellent vice chair.
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you. Is everybody happy with this?
Yeah.
Alright. We move on to planning and highways now. So we've got 10 seats and 7 are already on. Would anybody like to come on planning and highways? We've got 3 spots left.
Pause in charity.
Don't sell it too much.
I've done it. It's very interesting. It's interesting, it's interactive with our residents, and okay, it's once every 3 weeks, but we do actually interact with our residents, so it's all good.
And you do
Yes.
get training.
Oh, lovely, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We have got an excellent planning officer
Yeah,
as well.
excellent plan officer.
Shall we go ahead with 7 then?
Yeah.
Nobody would like to come up?
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, no, we have to do the chair and vice chair first.
Go.
So we've got Walraven as our chair.
Yeah.
Is everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, the chair nomination
Yeah.
for that. And Mr. Councillor Latham for vice chair.
And Councillor Honeyman.
And we've got Honeyman as well.
Right, so if I say something, if I'm happy if Linda wants to be chair and I'm vice chair, if anyone wants to do one, we go, otherwise we go for the vote. It's up to
I'm happy for you to be vice chair.
You happy, if you can't see on the golf, I'm quite happy to trade in that sense, if you're happy with that element.
Yeah, that's fine.
So if you're happy with like the status quo as before, I'm quite
Yeah, I
happy.
think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Right, so we get,
Thank you very much.
Okay, could I,
Thank you, Richard.
so what's going to happen at the end of getting all these done is you're going to take a vote, which you should be all saying yes because you agree everything was going through. You'll be surprised if you don't. And complicated.
I won't ask you to record about that one.
No, don't, thanks. What I would suggest you do is that you, as part of the proposals that you're going through at the moment, you agree to allow the Planning and Highways Committee to co-opt at any point 3 councillors onto their committee if anyone wants. So therefore, if anyone in the future wants to go onto that committee, all they have to do is put it on the agenda to co-opt you onto the committee and you go on, and we don't have to go through council first.
Yeah.
If they've got that power to co-opt to fill the 3 gaps, then it just makes it a lot simpler if someone changes their mind during the year. So if you're all happy with that, we'll include that in the list of things you're going to vote on at the end. Yeah.
I was going to say, I did want to go on planning highways, but I've been going to miss probably about half the meetings, which is why I haven't been. Just to, I did want to do that one.
All right.
Can you repeat on that, planning and highways, the chair and vice chair is Councillor Walraven and Councillor Latham?
yes, please.
Councillor Honeyman.
Honeyman, she's, yeah, she's.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Golf and the view now, please. We've got all spots all filled in, 10 of 10 are there. And to go for the chair now, please, it will be Mark Brown as chair.
Yeah, I'll go to vice chair, please, come in.
Okay. So we do the chair first. Would anybody like to, should we just switch it on? Yeah?
If everyone's happy.
Is everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, works for me.
And then we do yes, so we've got Councillor Latham as chair and Mark Brown as vice chair. Is everybody happy with this one?
Yes.
Right? Right. We've got the personnel now. All spots filled in. We've got Councillor Honeyman for the chair. Is everybody happy with this, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And we would like to have a nomination for a vice as well, if somebody is interested, please.
Yeah.
Is everybody happy with the Councillor Latham to be vice personnel? Right, we move on to the grievance and disciplinary now. Only one member, we have 5 spots there left.
Yeah. Good evening, Madam Mayor. Congratulations. Yeah, I've noticed there's not many on grievance. Due to my health issues, I have to be a little bit low key this year. So, but I'd be quite happy to help. I'll go on grievance if you accept me. Okay.
Please.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheila.
Yes, please.
I've known grievance as well.
I'll volunteer for that as well.
Yes?
So do I.
Alright.
So you just one shot, right? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So we just need a chair.
Yes, we need a chair and a vice chair for the same now, please. Anybody like to propose themselves up for that?
Okay, so I'll have a go.
Liz would like to go for the chair. Would you like to?
I'll do vice.
Yes?
Are you? It's not Brown Vice.
Vice, yeah.
Vice, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just writing it down.
Is everybody happy with the chair and the vice chair with the grievance and disciplinary?
That's fine.
We move on to appeals now. We've got 2 spots left out of 4. We've got 2 in there. Would anybody like to come in?
And again, you can't be on this if you're on personal or disciplinary. So
Whoever isn't.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's only we've got 2, so there's only 6 people in the room who can go on those 2 seats. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to embarrass them. But what I would say
Would you like
is,
to go on that?
yeah, this is a meeting that
I can't agree.
we've had one meeting in 4 years.
That's right. So we put Sean Edson and Rahman.
As you said, Councillor.
Yes, and
James.
James and Rahman. I think he's
Yes.
So who's the 4th one?
Don't put yourself out, Jen.
yes, so Rahman also wants to go.
Sorry. Well, we can have 5 on that, so there's no
Yes,
problem.
would you like to go? That's 4. You're up to you.
No, 5's fine. It gives us more flexibility in all honesty to make a quorum. Yeah.
Yes?
It's just we know that usually we're struggling by the time we get to that.
No.
Yes, so we do need a chair and a vice
We
chair
do,
for
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Would anybody like to propose themselves?
We had a conversation in this corner, we're prepared to be chair and vice chair between us.
Oh, that's very nice. So who would like to be chair and who would like to be the vice
We've
chair?
had that discussion as well. I'll be chair,
Right, so you be.
Brian is vice chair.
Fine. So we've got Jim in there.
No, we've got six.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, we've got six with Jim.
I'm in around.
It's up to you.
Up to you.
Put me in, because it's an open fact, somebody was not having.
Yeah, well, that's it, it means you've got more chance of being qualified. So, as I say, it isn't manageable, sorry. We have got on that committee, Councillor Reid, can I just check? Sorry, can I just check who's on that committee? You all understand, because there's a little bit of confusion there. So on that committee, we've got Councillor Reid, Councillor Everton, Councillor Meek, Councillor Rutland, Councillor Rahumeda, and Councillor Lord. Yeah, everyone agree with that? Right, that's okay.
Rodney.
Yes, they should, they can put all Vice Chair. Is everybody happy with this?
Yeah. That's great.
Come to end of this.
So, what you need to do now is, can everyone vote in favour of everything we've just agreed informally?
Yes.
Including the delegation to the planning committee. So if everyone can show of hands.
Please, could we call that? There we are. I'll show my hand. There we are. Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we come to the agenda number 10, representation on outside bodies. To consider report March 2019, presenting report from council concerning the representation on outside bodies and to appoint representatives from the 1920 municipal year, pages 5 to 39.
So we've circulated a document with the nominations we've got at the moment. You will see there's some gaps there, and also there's some where we're over-subscribed. They're the ones in red.
Yes.
The oversubscribed ones. So if you want to have a look at that, and if anyone wants to drop out or put themselves forward, now's the time to do it.
Right. So we start from Exeter, Seaford and New Haven. We have got one representative, which is Olivia Honeyman. She's fine, we do that. We move on to the Bishop United Charities, Linda Walraven, and we wanted another one if somebody would like to come in for this one.
Yeah, it is a trustee position, this one. It's slightly different. How often do they meet, Linda? Twice a year?
Probably no more than 4 times a year. It just depends if anything pops up.
Yeah.
Penny Lawrence previously on that outside body.
If there's no takers, the council can appoint somebody who's not a councillor to that position. If somebody wants to do that, who's not a councillor.
I'd be happy to do it.
Yeah.
Madam Payne, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Citizen Advice Bureau. I put myself up in there and I only have one position, so I'm happy to be there. Can we put another one?
There is only, with a lot of these positions, we have no room for negotiation because they give us a position. Rather than us doing it to them, it's them saying, you've got one place on the board or whatever it may be. So we have to be a bit more rigid with these, I'm afraid.
Yes. So we, is that right? Community Rail Partnership, we've got Richard Honeyman and John Edson. Yes please.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations on your position. Can I for you, Chair, can I ask Councillor Edson if he's a regular rail user along the line?
No.
Oh.
I'm quite happy to.
Okay, if you, that's a good question. If you were and you're all favourite Seaford to Brighton, then I'd say yeah, go ahead.
No.
So in a way, I think you've really got to be a regular user on the railways, quite in that sense. You know.
Yeah. I'm
okay, that's fine.
No problem.
So you drop out of that one.
Okay, thank you, Councillor.
Community Transport, Lewis area. We would like one name, please. There's nobody who's come up.
CTLA buses, you'll have seen them around town, the CTLA
Yes,
buses. Yeah. So this is one on their committee, for anyone who's interested in being involved with them.
Excuse me, do you know how often they meet? Is it in evenings or daytime?
I think it is in the evenings. I don't know how often is the honest answer. Unless anybody in the room can tell me. Most of these are 4 times a year. Some can be more though. Some can be as much as one volunteer for that one. Thanks.
Thank you. Move on to East Sussex Association of Local Councils. We've got Mark Brown for that because there's one spot and we've got that. Is that right? Thank you.
Sorry.
Which one? Oh, Crouch Bowling Club. Sorry about that. My bad. We've got Jim Lord, the one and only for that one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
Flat green balls, what more to them?
Right. And then we've got the Cookmere Community Bus.
I'll have a go on that.
Okay.
I'm just ride on the bus.
Thanks, John.
I didn't know he was a driver.
Now we come to the East Sussex Association of Local Councils again. We've done you there, Mark Brown for the combination there. And Environment Agency meetings. We've got 4 names and we need 3. So I would like to drop myself out of this list. For Impact Seafood, Sylvia Dunn. Is it all done?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
I've been on it for
Lovely.
years.
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah.
Louis Community Safety Partnership, Joint Action Group, John Edson and Maureen Everton. Is that alright? Thank you. Move on to Louis District Association of Local Council, Mark Brown, John Edson, and we need one more name for that place.
Well, it says there's
Somebody would like to come up.
There's a recommendation to reduce it
reduced
to
to
2.
2 reps.
There is a recommendation reduced to 2, yes, I think.
Stick with
That's probably a wiser move than going for 3, in all honesty. Yeah.
Yeah, can we need 2? Mercury Youth Centre, we've got Liz Woolman to represent. And Maureen is there.
But so we only need 1, unfortunately. Again, it's not one where we have a say over how many places, they give us 1 place.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't do this one.
Well, they've already
Too many.
got 2 in there. So,
It's the only one I put myself down for.
I was going to say, is a particular interest to you, so I noticed that you were there. That's fine.
thank you. Neighbourhood Plan Steering Group. We needed 3 there, we've got 5 at the moment. We've got Alan Latham, and Richard Honeyman, Linda Warren, James Meek and Sylvia Dunn.
Thank you, Chair. I think it's important for continuity of the neighbourhood plan that as many people who were previously on the committee remain on the committee. So that might help thin it out a bit. The other point to make is that planning is an important issue for the neighbourhood plan. Therefore, I would also suggest that weight should be given to those who are on the planning committee.
I'll have to drop out from that.
You would like to drop out, okay. James. Anyone else like to come down? Move it.
I suggest, Madam Mayor, that we increase that to 4 because it's a council sponsored activity. You know, it's run by outside people. That would result in costs.
Yeah, thank you.
I would say that there's probably not going to be many meetings, if any, with that group anyways. It's almost wrong.
Sorry, it's not just a question of meetings, it's a question of the amount of work involved. Before, I've been spending, although I've been off sick for a lot last year, about a day and a half a week on proofreading neighbourhood plan. There's a lot of it going around, even though they're not meetings.
Yeah.
So we go with 4 in this one. So it's again Councillor Latham, Councillor Honeyman, Walren and Dunn. Thank you. New Haven Port Access Road Lloyden Committee. So we just want 1 name for that, please. Would anybody like to put themselves forward?
I would say somebody who's particularly interested in planning is with this because it is to do with the access road and everything. So again, what Councillor Nathan said, someone who's involved in the planning committee would be ideal on this one. We did originally contemplate using the planning officer, but he's only on 6 hours a week, so it wasn't practical.
Do we know what it makes?
We don't, it's a new body, it's brand new, it's just been set up.
It does meet in the day, I know it meets in the daytime in New Haven.
Can you get them on the bus?
Well, you can sort the buses out because you're on the committee.
Richard, if you need to try. Yeah, you could go. Okay, thank you.
Let's see if Councillor
John Nelson, and you.
can't make it. I'll substitute in your
Yes,
job.
great.
Just because you were getting in touch with.
It's just in case you can't make it, I'll turn up there. So we'll be together, we'll be fine.
So we move on to Plastic Free Seafood Steering Group. We've got 2 names and we've got James Meek and Rodney Reed for that. All good? And moving on to the Seafood Allotment and Leisure Garden Society. We need 1 name for that, please.
They don't meet that often. I usually go to the annual meeting. It's not overly demanding, and if you've got any interest in allotments, it's right up your garden path.
I'll do it.
Will you do that? Great. Seafood Chamber of Commerce. I put myself and Councillor Boorman was on, so we are all good to go with this one. Seafood Community Flood Action Group. We want 2 names and we've got at the moment 3. So I'll take myself. I'll drop myself out, and then Jean and Olivia Honeyman would be on. Thank you. Then we've got some Seafood Community Partnership. We've got Richard Honeyman, Jean Cash, and Jim. No, that's 2 of them only. Richard Honeyman and Jean Cash.
I'll step down.
You step down. Thank you. And we've got Seafood Cricket Club, and we've got Jim Lord for that. And I don't think the Seafood Football Club is running anymore. We've got a split on there.
They are, but they don't have a place for us anymore.
Okay.
So it's been taken off. Yeah.
So we've got Seafood Head Golf Club. 1 name, please, if somebody could propose themselves.
What exactly?
Yeah, you play golf.
And
Yeah,
I don't.
What do you have to do?
Okay, so
You have to play golf?
no, you don't have to play golf. You act as a conduit for the council to. So the council owns the golf course, the council owns the view, but within that facility there is a separate corporate body which is Seafood Head Golf Club, which has nothing to do with the council. It's the members. They are Seafood Head Golf Club, but they're not a physical thing. They're just a group. And they have a committee every month, and there's a member of the council sits on that committee. So really it's acting as a conduit between them and us. Equally, they have 2 of their members that sit on the golf committee, and we've got non-voting members that sit on our golf and the view committee. So it's a 2-way street. So we have our own golf and view committee, which makes all the decisions. They're really talking about member issues, and if they've got any issues with what we provide with them. At the moment, they haven't got any, so touch wood, it's quite simple.
Great.
I played golf once, so.
Would you like to go on there? You? But Seafood Head Nature Reserve Management Committee, we want 2 on there. We've got 4 at the moment. So Phil Burman, myself, James Meek, and Jean Cash. Phil Burman is not here.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
This one is very dear to my heart. I'd really like to go with.
Okay. And James?
I would like to be on it as well, but
I'm not so sure that would be an issue with having more than 2 on this. It is a committee that was a quasi-council committee at one time anyway. So I think if there's willing volunteers there, I wouldn't look them in the gift horse in the mouth and that, but I think the 4 would be okay.
could I ask if Southland Barners wouldn't be considered within that remit?
No, it's not.
Is that a separate committee?
No, that is council property, so it's not part of the lease. So the Seafood Head Nature Reserve is the statutory Seaford Head Nature Reserve, and that is 2 land parcels of land. One is the area down towards the 6th hole of the golf course, all of the rough land that's around there, and the other area starts at just beyond the gate of Seaford Head, South Hill Barn. So it includes the turning circle for the tanks, that area in the middle. It follows down the track and then it starts on the right hand side after the turning point, goes over to the coast, includes all the way down to the beach, to the Cookmere, and back along, and the little bit of coastal path at the end of the farmer's field in front of Seaford Head Nature Reserve, that's included as well, down to a certain point on that pathway, but it doesn't include the barn. It's the area that's leased to Sussex Wildlife Trust on Capricorn Lease.
If we can extend the numbers on that, I'd be pleased.
I don't think there'll be an issue with that. So.
I'd like a proposition to extend them to 4.
Yes, second that.
Please just leave it then. And then, we've got hat swimming pool, we need 1 person for that also. For any good swimmers?
This just to explain a little bit of the history in this. So the council sets aside up to £10,000 every year as part of an agreement to keep the swimming pool open to the public. It was a joint agreement between the council, Wave Leisure and Lewis District, who all provide up to £10,000 capital money to spend on the swimming pool, keeping it pristine or condition, and therefore it's open to the public. They have a committee that meets, I think it's only 3 times a year, and they make decisions on what they would like to spend the money on, if they want to spend any of the money that's set aside for them. Last year they didn't take any of our money that we had set aside for them.
Just the meetings are in the day, that one.
No.
No? No? Anyone? Well, if I don't have anything to do, I'll put myself on for that, but would somebody like to substitute if I would not be able to?
I'll try.
Would you try it fully?
Yeah.
Or,
Something I haven't done.
Good.
Both things I don't do.
You're good places.
You're a good man. Right, so we've got Seaford Seniors Forum. 1 May, please.
When does that meeting?
Frontiers.
I honestly don't know the answer.
I think they're dates.
We didn't get a report on that, so
Imagine the dates on it.
we don't know the answer to this. We didn't.
I can't unless I know when.
Yeah, I understand.
Likewise.
Can we find out and then let them know by email or something?
What you can do, and again we'll do the same thing at the end of this, is you can authorise me to appoint somebody who comes forward at a later date to fill that position.
Yes.
Right,
So it
but
doesn't
if-
have to come back on the agenda that way.
I understand, but if somebody wants to come from the council
Yeah.
and they want some,
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll try and find out for you, and we'll let you know, and the
if they
council.
would like to come in,
Yeah.
we take them first, otherwise we will find somebody.
Well, I wouldn't appoint it,
I
it would
mean-
only be a council I would appoint, so if
Yes.
anyone comes forward in the future at any point and wants to fill that position, then I can just appoint them without delegation. But what I'll do is I'll find out when they are and let you know first, and then
Yes.
if you take it then fine, if not I'll just send an email to everyone saying this position's free.
Lovely.
The first one,
Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Lovely. So tentatively, write your name down, if you please. For stakeholders group on health issues, we want 1 more name there. We've got Latham there, myself and Morgan. Councillor Morgan is on. Would anybody like to come forward, fill this up?
Sorry. Madam Mayor, it does say in the column, number of reps may need reviewing. Is there a reason for that?
The reason is because last year the reps couldn't attend the meeting, so it was talking about whether it couldn't all attend the meeting.
Daytime meeting.
Yeah, it's a daytime meeting,
Yeah,
so
no,
that was
daytime
just a
meeting.
comment in there.
Right, okay, yeah, I just thought,
It
right,
meets quite regularly.
you know, just leave it as 3.
Are
That's
there
it.
any, would you like to come in? Straight. Then we've got strengthening local relationship. We just want 1 more name there as well. We've got Walraven, Councillor of Walraven, myself, and 1 more name for that. It's strengthening, yeah, local relationship.
it is during the day that one.
Yes. Tuesday mornings. Lovely. Tuesday mornings.
Usually mornings.
Usually mornings. But Pre-Warden Grove, we want one on there, we've got 4 at the moment, we are all enthusiastic for that.
We have recommended we have Councillor Rodney Reed as the tree warden. He's actually actively involved with the tree wardens via Rotary.
Nice.
And I can't think of a better person to lead us in the tree warden group than Councillor Reed.
Can I just interject, because we've just had an email recently from the chair, no, it was the secretary of the tree wardens. They are actively trying to encourage more membership. So I don't think they're going to mind if we send 4. Yeah, sorry. They're actually trying to make the tree warden scheme bigger, get more people involved, and do more tree planting, get more volunteers out to help as well.
This could be hands-on things.
Yes.
Yeah, so, the Mayor, I've already dug some holes for them, so I'm just going to hard ground as a secret. I'd be very happy to, however many comes to dig holes, make
Yes.
a good
Rodney,
thing.
shall we make you chair?
Yeah, shove it if you want. Yes, okay.
So we leave 4 for now.
I think that'll be fine, because as I said, they're trying to grow.
I'm on the back.
Like the park.
So we've got the last one, Youth Task Group, we've got Morgan Awadun on that, and we're happy with this one. Yes. Is everybody agrees to what we have read here and happy to go ahead?
Yeah,
Live it as well.
I was going to say it's come off, I didn't know that.
We're not going to vote.
Because I want to be on the board.
Yeah, it hasn't voted on.
James, put down the scene as well, just in case, so it's fine for all the case of this.
Yeah.
Just it's for very, it's not what's up with just what's felt.
See, the task, I'm not sure who runs that, so I'm not sure how it works with having a lot of money there. We put forward to it, there's an issue with that.
Just like 10 to 15
To the 2 of you.
If not, then she's dead. So we just
We'd just like to reinforce what Penny Lower said, the union visiting. Now that we've all taken on responsibilities, I think it's right that we fulfil those fully, so that new members coming in have got as much information as they can, so they can make sensible choices. So please, everyone who's taken on, do your
have the
homework.
report. Yes, please. Thank you. I will second that. Right, so we come to the end of this. Yes, everybody is just in favor, please show your hands.
Yes.
Thank you. We move on to number 11, which is fixed asset register. To consider report April 2019, presenting the council's fixed asset register, page 40, and fixed asset register A3 at the end of the agenda.
Madam, if I could interject, there's been a slight amendment as a result of the internal audit in relation to the value of the Martello Tower that's shown on the sheets that are in front of you, and also in relation to the Crouch Bowling Club. We incorrectly increased the value of those assets for the fixed assets register purpose, but the internal auditor advised that it should still be regarded as a nominal sum in relation to those additional, and that the value has been adjusted downwards. However, for insurance purposes, we continue to have the value at the increased level. I know it might sound strange, but we've got to take the advice of the auditor in relation to it. So I do have amended sheets if you wish to have them, rather than passing them around now.
Yes, please.
So you can see see that Martello Tower is shown approximately a third of the way down at a value of 2,245,000, but its replacement and insured value is shown at 2,009,003. And
Yes, please.
Isn't it the same on both streets? 2,245,400.
yeah.
The proxy cost is different, isn't it? But the actual, the proxy cost in 2019, okay, yeah, I'm with you, yeah, right.
Yes, we've got to keep it at our book value
Yeah.
rather than the perceived increased value for Martello Tower. And a similar move has been made in relation to the Crouch Gardens.
I feel I should have asked this question before the meeting. On the second page, you listed roads, that actually listed bus shelters.
Yeah, we don't own all the bus shelters in town, we just own some. And it's still a bit of a grey area, to be perfectly honest, which ones we do own. But,
you don't know?
Yeah, well, we do, sort of.
We're on the land, or at least the land.
Yeah, they're on licence on the land.
The
The land is highway authority land, for most of them. But the bus shelters were put in a number of years ago and there's no records here of which ones are owned and which ones aren't. So that's what we inherited. But we're a bit clearer now than we were 2 years ago. We find out when the window gets smashed usually.
Are we good to go on this one, everybody? Everybody happy with this? We move on to the annual subscription, which is agenda number 13, to consider report June 2019. Oh, the number 12.
Yeah, etiquette, when members are talking to you, Madam Chair, do you want them to stand up as well? And
If there is understanding orders.
That's what it does say that, so I just wondered what you'll do on that. So standing in this meeting, obviously, for other committees, a bit more informal, you can supposed to sit down and listen to them. That's why I just throw that in, I noticed there's a little bit of mixture there. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So we do the insurance arrangements, we've done that one. Do number 12.
Yes, just an insurance.
To consider report May 2019, providing an update on the council's insurance agreements. Page 41, please. Yes, please.
Yes, Madam Mayor. The town council staff worked extremely hard to secure these rates for us. They're very advantageous. We have looked at several other insurers which are much higher than this. Therefore, propose that we accept this.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to second that proposal. This was looked into very thoroughly in the last administration, and the officers have done an awful lot of hard work on this. We're very favourable rates.
Right. Anyone else? Any
Sorry,
reservations?
just a petty following point. I don't think the meeting could have taken place on the 18th of October 2019.
That would have been
better times.
That's spotted.
But it would look silly in a minute.
Okay, so how do we go on?
It's just it's not an issue
Just
in
a
terms
matter
of,
of the
yeah,
time.
it's just
No,
the
no,
time.
it's
time.
time,
Right. Thank you for notifying that.
Maybe
So,
just that we're pleasing.
alright, anyone has any reservations or anything to say about that? Or we are happy to go ahead with this?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes, please.
No.
Oh, you're all right, okay, thank you. All right, we carry on with that.
One point, Madam Mayor, it's normal for councillors to stand when they address the chair as a point of honour for you. And also, when we vote, we normally raise our hand to show that we agree. Just a couple of points that, you know, for
Thank
your
you,
future
for future
considerations.
references. Thank you, appreciate that, thank you very much. You did ask everybody. Is everybody in agreement to this? Yes, show your hands, please, thank you. Annual subscriptions. And number 13, please, to consider report June 2019 regarding the council's annual subscriptions. So it's page 42 and 43, please.
Mr. Chair, there's a number of subscriptions that we pay for various reasons. Happy to answer any questions on any of the subscriptions.
Right.
The largest one by distance obviously is the membership of SALC, Sussex Association of Local Councils. I did talk about those at the training session with councillors. They are our umbrella body. They provide us with a lot of support in terms of advice, similar to what we talked about at the beginning of the meeting in terms of the guidance on GDPR. So they are value for money because, I've said it before, they're probably the best county association in the country, which is just, look, let's see if it happens to be in the best county association in the country, which is Sussex. And we get an excellent service from them. So whilst it's quite a lot, half of that actually goes to NALC, which is the national body, which represents the interests of all councils on a national level, and give you an idea of what we get back from them, as well as providing conferences training. They successfully petitioned last year to, you might have seen this in the news, to get the rates on public toilets taken away. In effect, that's saved all of the area thousands of pounds every year going forward. So that one thing they did last year was a huge difference. The other thing they successfully did on our behalf was to remove the requirement for individual councillors to be registered with the Information Commissioner as data holders, providing you using a council email address. That would have cost each of you, and this is the bizarre thing, individually £30 a year to be registered for each of the years that you're a councillor. So for the privilege of being a councillor, it would have cost you £120. But the NALC managed to get that legislation changed and lifted. So that's the sort of thing we're paying them money for, and they do it very successfully on our behalf, Chair.
Anything else regarding this?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
You were first time.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think given that the council is a £2 million a year council, these figures are actually very conservative, and I'd like to congratulate the officers for keeping the figures down, and I propose to accept them.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just the new addition, is that full membership of the Local Government Association, or is it basically just access to that database? I was just wondering where you got the information before. Because obviously the Local Government Association for Principal Councils,
No, this
their body.
is the National Association of Local Councils.
No, it's the one on the Local Government Association.
Oh, sorry.
The employer link, the new one, yeah. I know it's relatively small money.
Yeah, it's not full membership.
It's just for that database.
Yeah.
But you did get your information from elsewhere, or did you find that this is
we
far from all superior to
it's sometimes more relevant. Yeah. To local government.
I understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Chair, item 112 on the subscriptions. Is the Seaford Fair Trade Group actually functioning? Because back in the reports it says they've closed or they've disbanded.
Yeah, that might be the case now. Yeah. As you were saying that, I was thinking that because we have, yeah. So that one probably has dropped. Yeah. So it was on last year's, so it tends to get repeated. So that one may well no longer be paid.
Any questions on any other of? Yes, please.
I'm slightly troubled by this approach.
Okay.
It seems to me that the EU Golf Club Committee should be making the decision that it's a good idea to pay for greenkeepers belong to the International Society of Greenkeepers, and there are similar issues. Which part of the council wants to belong to survey making? What surveys are planned? Who's thought about it? Is this just something generated by officers for our council members involved in bringing this together, so to speak. Because it doesn't seem to me to make sense. The only thing which makes sense about it is it's something which is paid by this council annually. Otherwise, they've got no connection with the thing.
Do you have any?
Yeah, only the council is authorised to enter into subscriptions, not committees, so it has to come through the council. Survey monkeys.
That you mean officers?
Sorry?
Because this is the council.
Yes, that's what's on the agenda.
But it's also, sorry, I stand up. It's also a random collection of things, only connected by the fact that we pay once a year.
Yes. So under the scheme of delegation, only the council can be a subscriber to anything. So therefore, the council has to make the decision. It can't be a committee. I've never been at a council anywhere where they don't do the subscriptions at the annual meeting as well. It's a standard item to have on the agenda for annual meetings for all
So
councils.
this has come from the council itself?
Well, no, it's in a report to the council. We present the council with reports. These are repeats of, these have all been, there's nothing on here that's new apart from the local government association one. And specifically the survey monkey one, that's something we use for all parts of the council. It's something that we use for surveys amongst the golf members, for example. We use it for surveys when we did the seafront consultation. It can be used for any number of things. We use it for staff surveys. So just about every section of the council uses Survey Monkey. Why we would split that away, it wouldn't make sense at all. As I say, it is a standard item for all councils. If you look at everyone's AGM, they will have this as an item on their agenda tonight at their annual meeting.
Is there a way we can review that or just go about this?
Well, the decision now tonight is that you've got those recommended to agree to those subscriptions. Obviously, if you allow them to fail, then by not going ahead tonight, not only will it create a lot of extra work for officers, it would mean our memberships would fail by default. I can't see a logical reason why you would take it away from the council and give it to committees to enter into memberships. As I said, I've never worked anywhere where you do that. It would make it a lot more complicated, it's a lot more paperwork, and it would mean that you haven't got a clear picture of all the subscriptions you pay. You could be paying two different ones through two different committees out of the same body, if you did it that way.
But this
I think just to clarify, if a new subscription is required for a particular body, for example, Golf and Review, then that would be discussed on the agenda for that meeting, for that committee, and then a proposal would be made to full council, and then full council would approve or not approve it. It's not for the officers to approve it, it's the council to approve it.
I should add as well, some of these subscriptions, and one that was mentioned specifically was the greenkeepers. They are actually conditions of their contracts of employment, that they have their subscription fees paid by the council, so that would be potentially a breach of contract.
So when did they last meet on this to comment on the agenda for us?
Who?
And this all that you have put in here for us to sign today had been approved and agreed by the council, as you said.
No, this is what you're doing tonight. So we are repeating what you've done every year since the council was formed. So every year since the council was formed, this has been an AGM agenda item. The list changes. The council Leighton says it's usually as a result of something that's said in a committee.
So if we have people who refer to these, how do we go about that? Do we put it for next time, and the councillors will not every year refer to the points which are...
No, well, what you do is the recommendation is to approve it as a vote.
Okay.
Does the council agree to approve these memberships? As I said, there is a consequence if you don't, because you have contractual obligations, and also you have, if you cease your membership by default, then we would no longer have services that we have at the moment. We would cease. So it would be a very difficult decision to take, I would suggest.
Right. Yes, please.
Thank you for letting me come back. It's not on the last item. Just for clarity then on these dates, so obviously these particular subscriptions are not necessarily due in April or May. They could be in the course of the forthcoming year. So basically, it's authoritative for when they do expire. So they're going to expire all over the place, aren't they? All over.
Yeah, the biggest one, Salk, is now.
Oh, right.
So that one is now because work in the municipal, yeah, the same.
Yeah, very good, yeah, absolutely.
Some of them may well be different. I've not dates to hand, but yes, yeah,
As and when, that's right.
as and when they're required, yeah, the authorisation is set up. Which is why it's very complicated to put them in committees as well. Because if you split them up, you're then continuously having committees considering something that is actually a legal obligation in most instances.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
So we should have to go about all of these today, or we can just hold few back
No,
and come back to them?
I wouldn't suggest that at all. I would suggest that the recommendation is you agree to
Each and every day.
each subscriptions as presented to the council.
I already made that proposal, but.
I'll second that.
I'll second.
Any councillor, please.
Anyone else, please? People who are in favour, please raise your hand. And against, please? Abstentions, abstentions, they're all abstentions.
So if you just say that.
So carried, yeah? That's carried. I declare this meeting closed.
Sorry, there's another list circulated, which is on the agenda, headed task frequency volunteer council label. And I noticed Councillor Dunn is represented there as an other council as well. For example, I don't know if check signing comes what I do every Thursday morning, coming in to go through the accounts, takes an hour to do that and sign them off. That requires two councils. I don't know if we want to discuss that now, do we? Or?
What we've done is circulated so that if people want to write on what they want to do, and hand them into Izzy or just let her know at the end of the meeting, then we'll update that list. It's not on the agenda formally, it's just to get details of what people want to volunteer to do. Thank you. So there is another meeting, just to emphasise, there is another meeting once this one's closed, we'll go to the next meeting.
So we declare this meeting closed now.